I don't know where it's gone now, but there was a spider sitting under its web. In fact, not on this web, but it's those kind of umbrella spider webs, and I was photographing it using those branches here as some kind of frame for the shot, and the sun was out just a moment ago, so I think that this makes for a really nice photograph. And I cannot find him anymore, so I guess we'll move on now. Hi guys, welcome to Sweden. It is now mid-August and the heather are in full bloom now. So I scouted a few different places around my house and I've decided to come to this place. So for now I have to get through this little foresty area before I arrive to some more open kind of places. And on my way here I saw a frog. Basically I just had the time to take 1 or 2 shots and then he jump scared me. That was a nice encounter, but a little bit frustrating as well. So yeah, plan for today is to get to those heather patches and see what I can find. I know there are lots of bugs around here as well, lots of dragonflies. But my idea today is not only to shoot macro, but I'll try also to include those heather into the wider landscape if I can. I'm actually taking a trail that it's not really a trail, more like a deer track. So I'm not quite sure where this is going. The direction is okay, so I'm not worried about that. Oh, and there are some nice moose tracks in the mud here. Okay, so now I think I know where I am. And if I'm correct, yeah, there's the sign here. So, as you can see, there's quite a lot of heather around me. But some of it seems to be past picked color already. I noticed this beautiful heather branch isolated from the other, maybe 2 meters in front of me here. Actually, I noticed it because there was a butterfly sitting on it. But I did not have the chance to shoot this butterfly before he flew away. So now I'm waiting for another butterfly or dragonfly to land on this flower and take the shot. But it's actually been maybe 10 minutes already, and I fear that no bug will come back on it now. I got bored of waiting for something to happen with the isolated heather branch that I noticed earlier. So I kept looking, and instead I found this beautiful damselfly sitting on a branch. Unfortunately, the branch where the damselfly is sitting has no flowers on it, but there's another branch just in front here, which is nice and colorful, so it makes for a nice blurry background for this shot. And there are some more pink flowers, pink heather flowers scattered around. So I feel that this is a nice shot, a fairly simple composition with the branch in a diagonal line. And actually, this is the picture that I took. There are a few things I'm not quite satisfied with this picture. First, I have to point the camera slightly up in order to have those flowers here in the foreground. And the far background is not so pretty looking. I'd rather actually have the camera point slightly down so that more of the heather flowers would be scattered around. And also, what I don't like, and I might try to remove it, but I fear that I might scare the damselfly away, is that there's some kind of dry weed here in the background, making a fairly strong distraction, as well as this green weed on the left side. This one is not so much of a distraction, I feel. Okay, so I tried to remove the weed I was mentioning, and unfortunately, as I expected, the damselfly flew away. But in any case, I feel like this is a fairly nice shot, and I will try to find another subject now. There's another damselfly on some more heather flowers just here in front of me. It moved. I was hoping to do a portrait shot shooting straight to its face, but it actually keeps moving. I will try to do another side shot. There are some more heather flowers just in front of him, so that could work quite nicely. Okay, so now I'm trying to frame the damselfly using some leaves of the shrub that's in front of me. He flew away just as I was taking the shot. Oh, and he went back just 2 centimeters further. So actually I'm gonna grab the camera so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so he flew away while I was grabbing the camera there. And I think I just saw a jumping spider. Yeah, there's definitely a jumping spider, but he's moving fairly fast, and yeah, I think I'll try to see if I can shoot it, but but it's gonna be a tough one, I think. So I was able to get a few shots, but I think he jumped away, or maybe... Oh no, actually he's hiding behind that branch. But he's so tiny. And he jumped away. And again. Now he's hiding below another branch a little bit further down. So yeah, the perch he was sitting on was this pine branch again, so not the nicest kind of perch, but at least I got a few shots. I just hope that they are sharp, because obviously I was manual focusing and at the very minimum focus distance on this macro lens to get at least some magnification. Not enough, at least I got a few shots, that's nice. Yeah, some of those are really sharp. I could have used a wider depth of field, closing down the aperture. But to be honest, I did not think about that when I was shooting. I was mostly interested in nailing my focus. Okay, I've been looking at this heather patch for a little bit, and I think I found a shot here. And ideally, I would like the sun to get out of the clouds again, so I have a little bit more light on the heather, and I think it would make the shot stronger. Okay, those dead branches were in my shot. So my shot, basically, I'm focusing down on the heather that is directly in front of the camera here. And then I'm trying not to walk on the lichen here. And then I'm using this kind of stairs of rocks, if you like, as a horizontal line, contrasting with the vertical lines of those trees in the background. So it's more of a multi-layered shot, and I like the contrast in shapes and textures between the heather, the horizontal line here, and the vertical lines of the trees. And actually, let me grab the shot while there's still some sun. In fact, now that I am here, I'm realizing that the sun is more of a distraction, because there's far too much contrast now with the sun out of the clouds. So I guess I'll wait a little bit longer. Okay, it took a while for the clouds to come back. So in the meantime, I looked closer on this heather patch, and I noticed a few of those spiders, the same one that I photographed while I was down in the forest earlier. And so I switched to my macro lens here, and I'm gonna try to shoot some of those, because I think the background is much nicer here than it was back in the forest. The issue I have, there's one just here, but it's turning his back on me. So not sure how I'm gonna do that. Okay, so those were a few side shots, and now he's turned around, so I'm gonna try and shoot him from this angle if I can. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to shoot him from up front. There's too much of the web in the way when I'm trying to shoot him in the face. Okay, I found an angle where I could shoot him straight in the face, but actually the sun is back now. So let's try that again. Oh yeah, so much more colors now. I feel like I had enough shots using my 100mm macro, so I switched to my Laowa 15mm macro, trying to get something a little bit different, including a lot more of the environment into the shots. And I'm using the crop mode on my camera, so it's a 15mm, but I'm using it as a 24mm. Otherwise, at 15mm, it would be far too wide. Because I cannot get close to the spider because of the web, which is fairly big. And I think that this spider has had enough of me for now, so I'm gonna move on now and continue exploring a few patches. Try to focus a little bit more on the landscapes now, if I can. I came through here thinking that there would be a shot with the cliff and the heather in the foreground, when a damselfly actually landed on this branch here. So I grabbed my 15mm Laowa and I'm gonna try to get a few shots of him. Some nice environmental shots. It's not easy to nail focus with this lens, but when it's sharp, it's sharp. Nice. When I scouted this place a few days ago, that's one of the spots that I felt like would have some potential for more of an landscapey kind of shot, including some of those heather. So now I'm gonna try and find an actual shot, because this part I did not do. So I finally made it to the summit here. So now I'm gonna enjoy the view for a while and then have dinner. The days are much shorter now. It's not even 8 p.m. and sunset is in 1 hour, just a little bit less than that. So I have now finished my dinner and going down towards some open kind of places that I scouted a few days ago. And the light is starting to get beautiful already. I just noticed this beautiful bush here, lit up by this beautiful light. I'm trying to figure out if there is a shot here. I'm gonna try first removing those dead pine branches there. So my shot was a vertical composition with the red bush being the main subject and the green to the left complementing the shot. But actually I wanted to show you something on the back on the camera here, because I don't know if you can see it, but I definitely do. So that's the shot that I just did. And that's the one just before. So let me switch back and forth again. New one, old one. And what I noticed is the bright spot on those leaves. So on the new one that I just did, I added my polarizing filter to cut down the reflection of the sun on those leaves. And I think that the colors pop much more this way. Okay, the light is fading really fast now, and I just found a shot using those trees in my background that were nicely lit by the sun when I took the shot. And in the foreground I have all of those bushes, so there's heather still, as well as some blueberry bushes, some being completely red this time of year and some still being slightly green and turning red as well as some birch trees which are turning yellow already. So yeah, as I was saying, this shot was all about the light and the colors. Okay, so the sun is now setting behind the camera there, and yeah, I don't know, I settled for this last composition here because that's where the last light was hitting, but actually I'm not quite convinced with this shot. So now there's not a lot of clouds in the sky, so I don't think there's much point in waiting for some more action to happen. So I'm gonna pack my stuff and head back down. And as always, I would like to thank you guys for watching this video until the end, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good one.